People donate for education. People donate for clothing. People donate for different things. We need to also ensure that there is mobilization around sanitary pads. It's so funny because people forget, maybe because of the space I work in the HIV and education space, I realize the critical role that sanitary pad plays in girls' future or even their ability to advance and pursue careers. But on a good day, somebody would think of it as, or what has sanitary pads got to do with education, or what has it got to do with girls' health? But it does have a lot to do with it. And I'm hoping that even those of us who are here, when we're engaging in those policy spaces that has to do with girls, if we're talking about girls' health, girls' education, gender equality, the conversation of menstrual health and menstrual hygiene management must be featured in that space. And that's a responsibility we all have, to make sure that we also hold governments accountable and partners to implement as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. The next question will be going to Professor Fatima. And please, Ma, briefly, would want to know from your work, what are the most effective ways to integrate psychosocial support into grassroots girls empowerment program? Thank you.
Yeah, Anna, I will say integrate care into everything, and I'll share 3 ways this can be done. Number 1, for all girls. So make every activity emotionally safe and skill building by default. Use trauma-informed facilitation like check-ins, as simple questions like, how is the weather at home? It basically opens the door. Use basic coping skills like breathing, grounding, journaling, and peer support norms. And you can definitely measure through attendance, retention, and mood check trends. The second is targeted. So for some that fall under this category. So for girls exhibiting persistent, probably low mood or withdrawal during sessions, or they're experiencing bullying or frequent absence, they just don't show up for no reason, no good excuse. For that scenario, you can use brief one-on-one check-ins like, what's up, how you doing? You didn't check in yesterday, what's going on? And also skill sessions on emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, digital safety, boundaries, and healthy relationships. And you can basically measure through goal attainment, scaling of small goals, and self-reported coping skill use. And the third is indicated. So for a few, that's for those that require probably rapid referral to maybe counseling or medical care, legal aid, and social services. Probably have experienced some kind of sexual or physical violence, suicidal thoughts, or severe neglect. So in this case, you have to contact referral services within 24 hours. And these are not 3 separate programs. It's one system with clear thresholds. So every empowerment program doubles as psychosocial support. As Safe Haven Foundation, our adolescent mentorship program uses this tiered approach. So every session opens with grounding, so quick practical sets of techniques that brings the person attention back to the present moment when they feel anxious, and all the disclosures route through one WhatsApp number. And of course, we also follow over.
Shma, for that profound answer. We'll be asking Honorable Kehinde, how can we ensure that youth-focused policies are not only inclusive, but also actionable at grassroots level? Honorable Ma.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Ensuring that youth-focused gender policies are inclusive and actionable at grassroots level. Yeah, I would say that to ensure that national policies are not just on paper, but are effective at the local level, there must be what we call a multi-pronged approach is needed to be able to achieve that. And explaining this, I would want to talk about, well, will I say three actionable policies, or will I say actionable points that we need to follow. One is the community-led implementation. Policies must be tailored to address specific local contexts, cultural norms, and also socio-economic conditions. This requires involving community leaders, gatekeepers, parents, and local organizations in the policy making and implementation process. There's this adage that says that, okay, is there an adage or something that we usually say that you cannot shave a man's head behind his back? There's that need when you want to make some policies, want to make some decisions. Those people that it's going to affect directly has to be in that room and has to be on that table. They have to contribute to it. You cannot want to go and make some impact in a particular community and you ignore the gatekeepers into such communities. By creating a sense of ownership, communities are more likely to support and enforce these policies. For example, grassroots advocacy and awareness campaigns can challenge harmful norms like the preference for educating male children over girls, or the justification for child marriage in some communities, especially in the northern part here. Another thing that we need to look at is the capacity building. Training local government officials, teachers, and healthcare workers on gender-sensitive approaches is very, very key and crucial. For instance, the Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria, PLAN, the PLAN program, I don't know if we have heard about it, is in states like Kano, Kaduna. It has supported the appointment and training of gender desk officers who can, and this automatically creates a dedicated local mechanism for policy implementation. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is accessible information and resources. Policies must be communicated in simple, accessible language to the people they are meant to serve. Providing easily understandable information about girls' rights, available support services for them. We'll be talking about the menstrual hygiene, how it's wash areas in schools, pads for them. This information have to be accessible to them. And then also legal, because it's also vital. Then additionally, establishing a support network that includes safe spaces, mentorship programs. We cannot overemphasize the importance of mentorship for even both girls and boys. And access to legal aid is key to making actionable for girls who have experienced violence or discrimination. So we cannot overemphasize the importance of those safe spaces, mentorship programs, access to legal aid when we are talking about actionable policies. So to ensure the national policy are not just on paper, all those things have to be effective to make it work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Mr. Moses, Ambassador Moses, I'll be asking you the next question. Yes, thank you, sir. So how can storytelling and public speaking skills taught in Girls Vanguard projects be used as a tool for conflict resolution and advocacy by young girls?
Okay, thank you so much, and I hope I'm audible enough. Now, storytelling is a powerful tool. We have different type of storytelling, by the way, and different type of ways of communication. But storytelling is one of those powerful tools, and that took me back to what brought me to Abuja in the first place, which was the United States Institute of Peace Fellowship that brought me to Abuja from Lagos. And truth be told, that still remains one of the best training of my life. Now, that training is a peace building training to train, I think we're between 18 and 25. I'm trying to remember the number now, maybe about 20 of us. And I can tell you that training was still the best. That was in 2022. That was 3 years ago. And there was no use of mic during the training. There was no use of PowerPoint during the training. There was no use of, I think we only had flip chart and the facilitator, then markers and cardboard. Now, what made that training so amazing? I've done several trainings so far. I've also initiated and implemented several trainings. But I can tell you that that's still one of the best training of my life so far when it comes to peace and development space. What makes it so unique is the ability of the facilitators to turn all modules, all training session into stories. Now, and they make it so real that they are not faking the stories. It's not fictional stories. There might be some additional element in those stories, but I can tell you it looks so personal, and they are so personal, and that's what makes storytelling peace building is a different ball game entirely. And as I said, it's still one of those things we can remember. I can remember bias now. I can remember how gender was being discussed. We even have practical exercises, and we are telling stories to one another. And it's not just the facilitators. They train us to be able to tell stories. And that really made huge sense. And even when we cannot remember the entirety of the content again, I can remember some names in my head. We had stories like Rivers of Life, trying to talk about how your life has impacted your decisions and how that has impacted how you are currently. They use personal stories to explain SWOT analysis, to explain every form of analysis in peace building. So storytelling is beyond just telling a story when it comes to peace building. And that is why we encourage that when you want to start maybe a peace walk or a peace workshop, you create a safe space in your ground rules. You ensure that everybody knows that this is a personal thing. Because peace building is beyond that external thing we used to do. It starts from the self. Now, if you can tell your personal story, you can get hold of yourself. You can transmit that to a lot of people. And that is what made that very, very unique. Another storytelling experience I have, and I'm also sharing it because it's about storytelling, has been the way most times when you do a program and it's just content all through, or you're trying to pitch something and it's just content or statistics, people forget numbers easily. It's not even these days that people have low attention span. But by the way, is it Honorable Kehinde now? When she was talking, I could remember in all our talk, I could remember the talk of the Abby girl, the lady she talked about, who got pregnant or who was into early marriage at 22. I think I can picture that, and I believe that most of you can picture that. A lot of stories in this session itself. If you cannot remember anything, there's no way you will miss those stories. And that's what makes storytelling very beautiful. And you can apply it when you want to engage in conflict resolution by sharing what you have experienced. And I can tell you, no matter how horrible you might think your stories are, it will still get the attention of people. And those stories connect people more than any other content. So thank God we now have social media platforms. And we have access to mobile phone. Is a very good way of creating content and sharing what you do. But you also must be sure of what you are sharing. When you want to share with the public, which leads to the other one, which is public speaking, is a different way of speaking in the public. Now, if I want to speak in the public, I must know what to share, what not to share for security reasons. And also, I think I will also be discussing a bit on what Honorable Kehinde mentioned. On that story, there was a story, I think there was a story she also mentioned that they save, I think somebody, I'm trying to remember that name now, that was raped, a student from University of Abuja that was raped. Now, for instance, that kind of story, which is good, especially when there is a safe space. And I also hope that that is very well put forward while they were doing that case. Now, when you are now making it as a public speaking, you must be careful for security reasons, for conflict sensitivity reasons, for safeguarding purposes. Now, that is another technical side we might be getting to, but public speaking itself makes your voice louder, make you to be able to project whatever is in you, and make you to be able to transmit your voice and actions or whatever to other persons. And we need more of that in our country right now, especially in situations where young girls are told, oh, you cannot say this, this is what you can say. There's a lot of people trying to shame the other person. You must be confident about yourself and to know that your story is important, and it will be selfish of you. And it's not just story now, it will be selfish of you to project, not to project what you have. If you have a very good content, you have something to share or something you need to bring other people to the knowledge of, you must be ready to push that out. And that is very important. I've discussed, I know my time is up. I've discussed briefly why storytelling is important, why it's better off some other approaches to communication. I've also explained how storytelling can help you gain some major attention from your audience. And I also explained now how public speaking will help you voice whatever you have. And just like that popular saying from for those who are with scriptures, if you have a light, you don't put it under the bushel. You come out and speak about it. And the more you practice public speaking, the more you do it, the more you get better. You will not get better by hiding or by shying away from the camera or by shying away from the public. You can only become a very good public speaker if you come to the public to speak once in a while. And you can start with smaller groups, and gradually you can speak to thousands of people. And I think we will still be doing this in the course of the project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. But then in 1 minute, sir, I also want to ask you, how does this speak to the Girls Vanguard project, seeing that they would also be trained via storytelling and public speaking by you? How does it speak to them? Just in 1 minute, sir.
So this will change a lot about them because we need more girls to speak up. We need more girls to talk. We need more girls to be confident. And you're not speaking because you just want to talk. You're speaking because you have a lot in you that you will discover in the process of the course. So it's important that you know that you are valuable first by yourself. And you have something the world is open and craving to listen to. That's the beginning of it. You must be so sure and you must accept it that you are worth listening to. And in that process, a lot of transformation happen and you start communicating your values. And we'll still be looking at different things, as I said. We'll practice how your confidence will be built for communication, for different things, and how you can start role modeling all those things. We'll do some role modeling, how to speak to a smaller group, what is expected when you're speaking with a bigger group, and what is the content, what you want to say. Because most times confidence is not built by just speak, it's about what is the content, what point are you speaking from. When you're sure of what you want to say, it will be easy for you to say it properly. Now, so we'll do more of that. Let me stop here.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Finally, to Barrister Kemi, the Girls Vanguard project emphasizes leadership and advocacy. So how can we equip girls not only to access education, but also to become advocates for their own educational rights? Thank you, ma. Just in 1-2 minutes. Thank you, ma.
Okay, I think I'll try and do that in 40 seconds. Number one is capacity building. we need to build girls' capacity. And it's not, when I say capacity building, I mean around their agency, because agency is the ability to make decisions. And a lot of what we know in our society, and I say this also as someone who has been in the gender field for a very long time and as a gender expert, most of the stuff we do is very conditioned. It's conditioning and socialization. That's another topic entirely. But it's building girls' agency through capacity building. Advocacy is something that girls themselves need. A lot of us started as advocates because we had that opportunity, and we went, some are able to study it in school, but I like that the Girls Vanguard project is going to provide an opportunity for girls to build their strength in their knowledge in advocacy. But not only advocacy, it's also policy, because they go hand in hand. Advocacy and policy both go hand in hand. So we need girls to understand the policies and to be able to decipher those policies, analyze them, and see what are the gaps in these policies and what recommendations can I make to government, because they have the lived experiences. They have the lived experiences that actually makes policies. It's not just people sitting in a room and putting up technical stuff. So capacity building is key. Number two is community education, because even if we build girls' skills to be advocates, they need enabling environments to actually become advocates. So educating their communities to understand and interrogate the things that we know and how they are, whether it's in terms of the gender norms, whether it's in terms of the stereotypes. Those are going to be very helpful for girls, because we need communities to support girls, because without the communities as well, the spaces will not be there. And if communities are not educated and carried along on the importance of girls' rights and girls' advocacy or even agency, what will happen is they will face backlash from their communities. So community education must go hand in hand. Lastly, representation. This is a really good space, but it would have been nice if we had a few young girls here. And I'm not talking about those in their 20s or 30s. I'm talking about young girls who are in their teenage years. So maybe this is also something, because representation matters in advocacy as well. Okay, Tabitha says they do. Okay, great. So that's something that is very important. It's one thing to train them, build their capacity, educate their communities, but we must create the spaces for girls to actually advocate. When next we have that meeting with my good friend and sister, Honorable Awujoola, can we make sure that there is also a young girl and a young boy in that conversation? When next we have that policy discussion or that technical working group, can we also push that the voices of young women and girls are in those spaces? It is important that they have the opportunity and platforms to actually advocate and articulate their needs to decision makers and policy makers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. This also boils down back to what Honorable Awujoola said when she said, sometimes when we make policy, you can't shave the head of someone without their consent. Thank you so much. And finally, to Professor Fatima, in the context of Girls Vanguard projects, GBV and human rights models, how can survivors' voice be amplified without compromising their safety? Thank you so much, Ma.
All right, thank you, Anna. But let me just make a quick reference to what Mr. Abolade said. I actually told the story about the child bride. So obviously you were listening, but what you did was you merged two information together, and it speaks to the power of storytelling, which is why I try to infuse, my stories in conversations depending on the context of the conversation. So back to the question, and Mr. Abolade also said a bit about this. So the principle is voice over exposure, voice without exposure. So never require personal disclosures, always offer safe alternatives that ensure privacy and control with the survivor. Number one, anonymization by design. Use composite stories, you blend details from multiple cases. You know how movies based on true life stories also state at the beginning that some details in this movie have been distorted for dramatization effect. So change non-material facts, in terms of time, place, and relationships. And you can also deliver via proxies. So have mentors read the text or use actor voiceover or silhouettes or illustrations instead of photos. A second method is safe formats. So closed rooms, story circles with opt-out and a clear privacy corner staffed by, of course, a female responder. Then we also need digital safety guardrails, disable comments or have heavy moderation to prevent harassment, then limit distribution to closed groups, turn off resharing, and we can also use expiring link. Then lastly, power and dignity. It's always good to pay survivors for time and expertise when they co-create materials and show them that you value their insights and also their knowledge. And basically the bottom line is amplify the message, protect the person, and if a tactic doesn't make it safer or easier for a survivor, then don't use it. Over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Amplify the message and save the tactics. Thank you so much. And finally, to the Senior Special Advisor to the Minister of Youth and Development on Gender Matters, Honorable Kehinde, I'll be asking the last question. What role can trained girls advocates from this project play in influencing further future youth and gender policy development? Thank you so much, Ma.
All right, thank you very much. Before I quickly answer that question, I just want to make a little correction. It's Senior Special Assistant to the Honorable Minister of Youth, not advisor. Please
All right.
take note. Yeah, so the role of training girls advocates in future youth and gender policy development. Training girls advocates are not just beneficiaries of policies. They are actually vital agents of change who can influence policy development. And their role is multifaceted, and it is essential for creating a genuinely effective and representative policies. One is providing a lived experience perspective. Girls themselves, as we know, possess a unique and direct understanding of the barriers they face. So when they are trained as advocates, they can articulate these challenges from a first-hand perspective because they've experienced it. They're moving policy discussions beyond theoretical frameworks. And this helps to ensure that policies address the root cause of issues like the gender-based violence issue we are talking about, the lack of sanitary facilities, washrooms in schools, or the limited access to digital education. Secondly, is the peer-to-peer advocacy. Trained girl advocates can effectively reach and mobilize their peers. They can build trust and create safe spaces for other girls to share their experiences and seek help because it's within themselves. This peer-to-peer approach is more impactful than top-to-down directives that can also lead to wider acceptance of new ideas and behaviors. So, for example, initiatives like school-based anti-trafficking Vanguard clubs in Nigeria leverage peer education to protect young people. Thirdly, monitoring and accountability. Girls advocates can act as grassroots monitoring system, tracking the implementation of policies in their communities and holding duty bearers accountable. Now, by collecting data and sharing their observations with policymakers, civil society organizations like Tabitha, they can highlight implementation gaps and advocate for necessary adjustments from their experiences. This ongoing feedback loop is critical for ensuring that policies evolve to meet the changing needs of girls and young women. Their involvement transform them from passive recipients to aid to active participation in shaping their future. So the role of trained girls advocates can never be overemphasized. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I really want to say thank you to every of our panelists. Right about now, because of our time, I will be handing over to Barrister Gladys.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Oluwakemi Gbadamosi, Brahma. Thank you, Honorable Kehinde Awujoola. Prof has left already because she has another engagement, but thank you, Professor Fatima Waziri-Azi and Ambassador Moses Abolade for that very insightful, power-packed session filled with lived experiences, which is very important. We are not just talking theoretical, but we're bringing it down with experiences from the field. We have a question. I think one of our attendees dropped a question, and we would just leave it open to our panelists. Let's see if any of them can address the question. This is from Mr. Tahir Musa. He's the finance officer for the Young Men's Network FCT branch. His question is, how can a father manage his daughter? Daughter is 13 years old, who loves to, I'm guessing this is lie and steal things. Sometimes she doesn't have need for. I have tried to help, but it's getting exhausting. So does any of our panelists want to break this down or attempt to address this?
Hello, can you hear me, Gladys?
Yes, I can, Honorable.
Okay. Yeah, I think that situation is not I don't want to use the word that ordinary, but there is a name. I'm trying to figure it out now.
Kleptomania.
Yes, God bless you. Yeah, kleptomania. Yes, they tend to pick things that eventually they do something that they don't even need. Okay, just imagine a scenario: you go into a store and you just pick a left foot of a slippers. You just stole a left of a slippers. So is she going to just wear one? So they pick it up, and you at the end of the day you discover that it is not something they even eventually will be able to use or need. So I would suggest that she needs help, and the help she needs is related not to you, not something you can do on your own, sir. You need to take her to see a psychologist. I don't know if that's the right if that's the right person, or is it a psychologist they call them, or a physiotherapist or something like that.
A counselor or a therapist, yeah.
Yes, a counselor. Yes, I think she needs to see a counselor. Then it's a gradual process. I know that probably when it started, you've tried to correct her through beating, through punishment, and at this point now you discover that it's not something that she herself can control. So I don't know if you're a Christian or a Muslim. I want to advise or suggest that as you're taking the step of taking the step of taking her to a counselor for help, you also be prayerful about it. I am of the belief that there is nothing God cannot do, and there is no situation God cannot turn around. But I just want you to have it at the back of your mind that you don't continue to beat or punish such child, because the situation she has found herself is even beyond her own control, but she needs help.
If I could just add to that, sorry. I also think that it is important to find out what is the reason why she does that. And that's where I agree that maybe having to speak to either a guidance counselor or a therapist. I know most times, a lot of times, Africans in general, we tend to be averse to therapy or counseling, but those things have proven to be helpful, because you also need to understand what is the reason. Could this be a response to something? Could it be also a cry for help? So it's important to find the root cause, because sometimes when children act out, or even as individuals, when we engage in certain practices, if you dig a bit deeper, you will find out that it's a response to something else, to a deeper issue that needs to be addressed. Where did she learn that from? And this is also something that, yes, beating is not going to resolve. It is trying to meet the child where they are, trying to get insights into where did you learn this from, or who told you that this is something that you should do. So it's important to create a safe space where that child can have that conversation. And sometimes a counselor is a place to help you with that. Number two, yeah, the point of kleptomania, but again, I don't think we can emphatically say it's kleptomania, because that also needs to be diagnosed. So it's important that at least either engaging with a psychologist, like Honorable Awujoola said, that helps you find the root cause of the problem. But that could be either a trauma response, or it could be something that she learned from someone, or it could be something that she learned even from her peers at school and thinks it's okay. So you must find the root to be able to address it effectively. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kemi and Barrister Honorable Awujoola. We have a response from Amina Elias Danjuma, and Amina says, sometimes this might be a trauma response in form of rebellion. Maybe she has emotional needs that the parents isn't responding to in a way she craves. So that response is from Amina. Ambassador Moses, you raised your hand. You have 1 minute.
Okay, no, Kemi has really done justice to the answer. She took a lot of things from me, and I sense she's a peace builder, because that's the first point of call when you need to diagnose what the problem is first, to find out the root cause, and she's explained that well. I think maybe a few things I might add to that is, the approach in this part of the world when people are going through a lot, just like she also said, most times comes from the angle of judging first, concluding, and transferring that immediately to the child. So, but also we need to also look at ourselves as parents, what exactly is causing this? But we also need to be very open-minded, to be interested in knowing. Now, the major thing is most times it's beyond what we might ever think. Out of the things we might list, it might be out of that. So we must be open-minded to expect any response, so that we can act on that response properly without judging, in a calmer way. And if it's beyond you, just seek help as much as you can. And that's also one of the things we're also looking at, and organizations should be looking at doing. Even I've turned my office, our office at PEPNET to receive some issues like that. And some of the things we are getting to know is very, very deep, beyond even the physical. Just like somebody mentioned that, I know it might not be total to talk about spirituality in this kind of thing, because sometimes it's more mental issue. But also, I think somebody talked about praying about it and all that. But also, like some of the cases I've attempted or have worked on, you might discover that even if it's going to be spiritual, it's either from peer pressure, influence from so person, but you must track it and you must be open. While doing your diagnosis, to be sure that you are not preempting anything, and you're working gradually, carrying the person from where they are to where you want them to be. So let me stop here. And thank you, Kevin. You did a wonderful work already.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Moses, for that response, and every other person who also lended their voice. Mr. Tahir Musa, I hope the responses have come in handy and they'll be able to help you forge ahead towards facilitating or supporting that particular girl with the help that she needs. Up next, we would be taking the last set of goodwill messages. We'll be taking the last set of goodwill messages. We have just two individuals from two separate organizations who will be doing that. The first person who will be calling on for the goodwill message is Barrister Hosanna Gani. He is the founder of Reformers League and one of the solid partners with Tabitha Empowerment Center for the implementation of the Girls Vanguard project. Barrister Hosanna, if you're on the call, the floor is yours. Barrister Hosanna, can you hear us? Okay, I think he's dropped off.
Hello, I am here. Sorry, I was trying to unmute.
All right, you have the floor, sir.
Sincere apologies. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, our panelists and every other person that has spoken. For me and for us in Reformers League, my name is Hosanna Gani. I'm the founder of Reformers League. For us as an organization and for me as an individual, empowering the girl child is not an act of charity. I see it as an act of justice and the right thing to do. In our society today, where inequality, unemployment, and insecurity threaten our collective future as a nation, this project reminds us that transformation begins when we give every girl the chance to rise, not because the girl child is weak, but I believe because the girl child is strong and full of promise. This initiative is not necessarily about comparison between the girl child and the boy child. It is about conviction. It is about building communities where potential of girls is recognized as the engine of progress for us in Nigeria, in sub-Saharan Africa, and also in the whole of Africa. So on behalf of the Reformers League for a Better Society, I commend Tabitha Empowerment Center for this bold vision. And we and myself stand in shaping, together with them, in shaping a society where doing the right by our girl means doing the right to and by our future. I thank you and I look forward to working together with Tabitha on this laudable project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barrister Hosanna Gani, for that brief yet powerful goodwill message. The final goodwill message for today's launch, it would be from the Peace Education and Practice Network, PEPNET, and we'll be having Ambassador Moses Abolade taking that goodwill message. You have 1 minute, sir, for your goodwill message. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. So 1 minute, let me see what I can do. Okay, permit me to stand on the existing protocols because of the 1 minute, On behalf of PEPNET, I'm deeply honored to share this goodwill message at the launch of the Girl Vanguard's project. And I want to begin, I won't want to read my note because it's quite enormous. But I would just say it's been an amazing project already, as you can see, so much knowledge here. And the topic is the theme of this event is very, very important, which is from silence to strength, breaking barriers for girls. And this topic is not just for this discussion or for now. It's something that should resonate all through our lives because silence will not get us anywhere. We need more voices to participate in engagement. We need more voices. And it's not, just like the last speaker said, it's not we trying to just fill the space or try to just fulfill our righteousness, because that's what I see around. It's important that we know that this is a call for justice. It helps us to ensure that it helps the entire ecosystem or the entire system. So at PEPNET, we are really proud of this project. It's a great start, and I'm sure that it's going to transform everything to how we want our world to be. So to all the girls and all the people on this project, panelists, and everybody, we want to say we are so much in love with the idea, and we are sure that we are going to put our best to ensure that all the participants get the best from this engagement. And just like we used to say at PEPNET, or we do say at Peace Education and Practice Network, this is a call for us to increase access to peace education to one way or the other. So the more we do this, the more we ensure equality, the more we ensure that we are training more people through this capacity building project, the more we are shaping our world for a peaceful society. So please, I just hope that in the course of the trainings, we are more open-minded, because we will be the one to pass this on to many generations as much as possible. So we are very much impressed with this entire project, the planning, the organization, the coordination. I want to say thank you so much for engaging us at PEPNET to be part of this, and we'll be there to support as much as we can. So thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Moses Abolade, for that goodwill message. And with that, we come to the end of the goodwill messages for this launch. All right, from the hours of 1 p.m. till about 4:02 p.m., I have been your anchor for this particular program. But at this point, I will be signing out and handing over to my colleague in Plateau State in the person of Barrister Isaac David. He is the liaison person, Tabitha Empowerment Center in Plateau State, and he would conclude the other sessions of this launch. It was great engaging with each and every one of you, and let's keep collaborating to ensure that we amplify, preserve, and promote the rights of girls at urban, rural, and peri-urban communities. Thank you very much. Barrister David, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Barrister Gladys. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and all protocols duly observed. We want to appreciate you all for your time and patience, for your contributions thus far in a bid to achieving the aims and objectives of this project. Without much ado, we will continue from where Barrister Gladys stopped. And next on our agenda is we will be going into the next segment, which is the fundraising. However, before we take that, there will be a short video clip that will be displayed to us as regards the community in Jukoi, to which this project and fundraising is intended to be of immense assistance to. Consequent upon which, after the video is being displayed, we'll take it up from there. All right, at this juncture, the video, media team, please. Thank you. Okay, Barrister Gladys, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the video display, please.
A rural community nestled within the Abuja Municipal Area Council of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory.
We can't see your screen.
82,000 people. Jukwe is a bustling settlement. Jukwe, a rural community nestled within the Abuja Municipal Area Council of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, home to an estimated 2,000 people. Jukwe is a bustling settlement.
Yeah, daily life unfolds in familiar rhythms. At dawn, women fetch water from boreholes and streams. Children trek to school in groups, and traders open their wooden stalls to sell vegetables, grains, and household items. Motorcycles weave through the dusty roads, carrying workers to the city center, while farmers tend to small plots of cassava, maize, and granola. But beneath this vibrant rural lifestyle, Jukwe faces challenges that weigh heavily on its young people, especially girls. Poverty, early school dropouts, underage marriage, sexual exploitation, and peer pressure from urban influences expose girls to risk that can shape their entire future. Some are lured by promises of work in the city, only to face abuse or exploitation. Others battle the silent dangers of gender-based violence, trafficking, and lack of safe spaces to express themselves or pursue their dreams. This is really the Girls Vanguard Project matters. It is more than a program. It is a shield and a ladder, a shield to protect young girls from devices threatening their future, and a ladder to lift them towards education, leadership, and empowerment through scholarship, mentorship, internship, and the chance to directly from female leaders. The Girl Vanguard seeks to break the cycle of vulnerability and build a generation of strong, confident women who will rise from Chukwi to lead across.
In Chukwi, hope is alive, and with the right support, every girl here can grow, not just to survive, but to thrive.
I am 10 years old. My name is Mona Figo. I am 18 years old. My name is Leslie. I am 14 years old. That project helps get you to become leader. Banners help girls in Jupiter to learn different skills. Didn't you know about your right? Health and to speak up. And 30 girls will learn new skills and meet strong women and meet strong women leaders and teach others to meet strong women leaders and teach others to learn how early marriage skills to it helps girls with confidence and respect. And also, if you go to stop things like early marriage and help girls to have confidence and respect, it's always a to be a good leader of school. Tabitha is always a may God bless you and keep you up. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, and I want to say a big thank you to Tabitha Empowerment Center. I promise to follow the rules and regulations and fulfill the requirements. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. There we can see there is the video of what is obtainable in Jukwe community in the FCT, which constitutes the centerpiece of this fundraising. Of course, from the video, it is evident we can hear the challenges these people are facing in the community. And just like as one of our discussants rightly observed, the professor rightly observed that mentorship is key and fundamental in shaping the lives of these young girls in the society. Hence, a program of this nature cannot be overemphasized. And without much ado, we'll be unveiling the banner for the Girls Vanguard project in Jukwe community. There is a banner we've put in place for the purpose of the said program, after which we'll get to meet our mentors that by God's grace, if this program kickstarts, they will be the ones to mentor these young girls in this community for the purpose of achieving the primary aim and objective of this Girls Vanguard project. So at this juncture, we'll be unveiling the banner of the program that is at Jukwe community. I will want the tech, please can you do well by unveiling the banner for us for the said program at Jukwe community. Thank you. Yes, gentlemen and ladies, we can see right here, this is the Girls Vanguard project. You can see the banner, and of course the essence is not far-fetched, is to build on what has been the primary mandate of Tabitha Empowerment Center, to wit, training and mentoring girls to be better leaders and educators in the society, and with the intent to work with families and stakeholders. Of course, it is a settled fact that in terms of ensuring girls are being educated, prevention of gender-based violence, and what have you, the family is the primary stakeholder before getting into the wider society. As you can see, same captured on the flyer, we also intend to carry out this in conjunction with other partners and stakeholders. We can all see them there. So for the purpose of achieving our objectives at Tabitha Empowerment Center, this banner of the Girls Vanguard project, in a nutshell, provides for the activities we intend to embark upon. Having unveiled the banner, we'll now go into the next stage, which is introducing our mentors, one after the other. And that note, I want us to please display our mentors for the purpose of the Girls Vanguard project. The mentors, please. Thank you. Yes, for the purpose of the program, these will be our mentors. We have Mr. Moses Abolade, who is the Executive Director of Peace Education and Practice Network. For the purpose of achieving this objective, we intend to partner and use mentors that have the requisite expertise. And we can see Mr. Abolade here is an expert in leadership and public speaking. Just like one of our discussants rightly opined and observed, there is need for building confidence in the mind of these girls in the course of training them up for leadership in the society. And of course, this mentor, that Mr. Abolade, will do justice to that in the course of the training. And another of our mentor is, as will be displayed, our next mentor. All these mentors, for the records, will be actively instrumental in inculcating and impacting knowledge on the girls in these communities. And of course, you know, as the saying goes, you educate a woman, you educate the society. Yes, another of our mentor is one of the persons that gave a goodwill message. That is in the person of Barrister Gani Ozana. Barrister Gani Ozana is also an expert in the aspect of GBV prevention and entrenchment of human rights. Gentlemen, we can not talk of GBV and human rights without mentioning the role played by civil society organizations. And the civil society organization of Barrister Gani Ozana here, that is Reformers League, is also key in this delivery. Hence, he is a key resource person that his expertise will go a long way in achieving the aim of the Girls Vanguard project. Our next mentor for the purpose of the Girls Vanguard project is, as will be displayed on our screen, our next mentor is in the person of our next mentor is in the person of Oyetimehin Bolanle Caroline, who is a pharmacologist, and she is a passionate pharmacologist, and she's committed to advancing health outcomes through science, compassion, and community impact. Now, of course, we know that one of the challenges that is usually faced in communities of this nature, such like Jukoi, as we've seen in the video, is there may be cases where these girls, in the course of their mentorship and training, will need health education as it pertains to their right sexual orientation and what have you. Hence, this mentor will also play her role in saying that the health concerns of these girls in the course of the mentorship is duly addressed. And her area of specialty and focus is on girls talk and the truth about our bodies. Of course, at that formative age for these girls, they need to be informed about certain changes they may encounter in the course of growth, puberty, and what have you. That is also one of our mentors. Another of our mentor for the Girls Vanguard project is as will be displayed on the, as it's been displayed, is Diane Duke. She is a creative director, and her role in the course of this mentorship cannot be overemphasized, as she's breathed on the social media platform and I've carved a niche for herself as far back as 2016. And in the course of this mentorship program, she will also bring in her experience and knowledge to put into bear on how to say that these girls that are being targeted for the cause of this mentorship program are well attended to. You believe me that the social media space is indispensable in the terms of information dissemination. Hence, the role of media cannot be overemphasized. Hence, we will need the expertise of personalities of this magnitude in conveying and emphasizing on the role of the media as far as training of these young ones are concerned. Also, in the course of the training, another of our mentor that we'll be hearing from, who will be putting the children, that's the young girls of Jukwe community, are right in terms of training, in terms of morals, is also one of our mentors, and the person of yes, as will be displayed on the screen. Yes, another of our mentor for the Girls Vanguard Project 2025 is Doris Alaku, who is a girls' rights advocate. And gentlemen, you will agree with me, right from the commencement of this meeting, it has been reiterated times without number that the place and role of girls in the society cannot be overemphasized. Hence, there is need for them to be, their minds to be reawakened and recalibrated as to their essence in the society. And for justice to be done to topic of such nature, we need people in that space, that is the girls' rights advocate, and Doris Alaku here have the requisite expertise. She is with the Uwais Maidawa Aid Foundation, and she'll be bringing into bear her knowledge in trying to inculcate into these young girls the requisite knowledge they need to know about their personalities and girls and how they can contribute their quota to the society. Also, the men are not left behind. We also have one of our mentors in the person of Mr. Job Andova Akpera, who is a tech professional. Just like we rightly reiterated, in the 21st century gender space, you cannot achieve all objectives without the aid of technology. Hence, we can relegate the the importance of technology to the background. Hence, these girls will also be taught on the importance of technology in the 21st century and how it will help to make them better leaders. And the person that will also help in doing justice to that in the course of the training is Mr. Job here, whose area of specialty is digital literacy. And also, for the purpose of the Girls Vanguard Project 2025, another of our mentor is our very own Gladys Emmanuel, who is the in-house lawyer at Tabitha Empowerment Center. She is a human rights lawyer and a gender advocate, and with area of specialty in gender-based violence and human rights. She will be bringing into bear her almost a decade of experience in the gender space, to it, but not limited to women empowerment, prevention of gender-based abuse, and so on and so forth, in seeing to the fact that the lives of these girls that will be shaped and modeled in such a way that they will be of great significance to the society. Gentlemen, we must also have it at the back of our mind that a careful perusal of the cream of minds that have been carefully chosen and selected as mentors for the purpose of the Girls Vanguard Project 2025 in Jukoi community constitutes a mind of intellectuals that are coming to bring into bear their professionalism and expertise in ensuring that the goal and essence of the project is achieved, to which mentoring and building leadership skills, but not limited to that alone, but also exposing these girls to know about their sexual and reproductive rights and how their rights will be guaranteed and protected in such little communities. Having said that, gentlemen, we'll now step into the center point of the meeting, which is also, you've seen from the video that Jukoi community is in need of assistance, and that is the brainchild behind the Girls Vanguard project. And by extension, this fundraising is not only limited to the 30 girls in Jukoi community, but by extension, it can be cascaded to other members of the society. Hence, for the fundraising, we are now keeping the floor open for our passionate individuals that are willing to come and partner with us at Tabitha Empowerment Center to see that the mandate and goal of the Girls Vanguard project is achieved. Gentlemen, just like we rightly said earlier, all of this, in achieving all of this, the place of finances cannot be overemphasized. And that is why we are using this platform to solicit for your support. A link has just been dropped by my colleague, Anna Odunlayo. That is the link. And also the account number has been dropped there. As to donations and contributions will make towards achieving the goals and mandate of the project. And I would like to state at this juncture, without any shadow of doubt, that a careful consideration of the minds in this meeting, I'm sure that the goals aimed at to be achieved in the course of this project is going to be achieved. Reason being that the essence of this is to see that these communities are impacted upon. These communities these girls' lives are being touched. From the litanies of discussions by our discussants, it is evident that the role of government, though impactful, is not enough. Hence, there is need for individuals to come together, civil societies to come together to see how these goals will be achieved. And that is why we are bringing up this need for fundraising. I will be most grateful and will appreciate contributions. So even after this meeting, please, our doors are still open for accepting contributions for the Girls Vanguard project. And we believe that at the end of the day, the mandate, which is to build leadership skills among these girls and also to create awareness and conscientize them, these mandates and many more will be achieved with your support and our cooperation from Tabitha Empowerment Center. Thank you very much. At this juncture, we'll now go to the next stage. We are going to the next stage. Without much ado, we'll be inviting for the purpose of from our agenda, we'll now be inviting the project. Okay, excuse me. We'll now be, okay, gentlemen. Okay, at this juncture, we'll be inviting Mr. DCP Elias Okudiri Uzeum for a vote of thanks, who is also the Vice President Chairperson of the Tabitha Empowerment Center Board of Advisors. Thank you very much. DCP Elias, sir, are you on the line, sir?
Okay, I think he's not on the call. We could call on our founder and executive director, Madam Christina Uzokamba, to close the meeting.
All right, very well.
Thank you very much, everybody. I want to appreciate you people in a special way for taking your time to be part of this laudable project. That's the Girls Vanguard project that we launched today. We couldn't have, achieved this goal without your support, without your contributions. So I'm thanking the federal representative of Federal Ministry of Youth and Development, our Honorable Dr. Olani Benjamin, Professor Waziri, Barrister Kemi, and the rest. I want to, and the team of Tabitha Empowerment Center, the volunteers, the staff, and all management. Thank you so much for being part of this project, and we hope that with all what we have reeled out and listened to, we'll be able, to achieve our goals. So I want to say a very good thank you to all of you, and we hope to work together as a team to make sure that these girls are being, their lives are being touched, and pray that, at the end of the day, we'll be proud to have girls, that are representing the nation and the leaders of tomorrow. So thank you so much. Thank you, and good night.
All right, thank you very much, Founder and Executive Director Ma. We have come to the close of the event. However, what is an event without photos? In as much as we're joining in virtually, we would want to appeal to us to kindly turn on our cameras so that we could have a photo session.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you, Barrister Maxwell. Go on. I cite you. Thank you.
All right. Your best smile. We will be taking the photos now. All right. Do we still have other people who want to turn on their cameras? Okay. Perfect. One more shot, please.
Very well.
Just so that we capture everybody. All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, ladies, from wherever you joined in. Thank you, Barrister Kemi, all the way in the US. I know it's about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. now. Thank you so much. Blessing. I saw blessing on this call and every other person. Thank you, and thank you. Let's keep joining hands together to empower communities, to empower the girl child, and promote human rights ultimately. Do have a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.